maybe even TSR right now. Holy shit. Are you seeing TSR getting canceled? You know who TSR is?
Is that a gaming thing?
TSR was the company that created Dungeons and Dragons. Now they've sold Dungeons and Dragons to Magic the Gathering, Wizards of the Coast, but they still have some other properties. I loved Dungeons and Dragons in the 1980s when I was 9 or 10.
I remember the cartoon.
The cartoon was cool.
Yeah.
Was it cool?
Yeah, I mean, the intro was cool. They go into a roller coaster. They get pulled into this world of Dungeons and Dragons. There's a short little dungeon master guy, and the dude had an awesome bow. You didn't need arrows. You just pull the string, and like this magic arrow kind of just manifests.
I do remember that. Anyway, Dungeons and Dragons is no longer owned by TSR, but they own something else. I remember Star Frontiers, I think it was called, was the kind of futuristic version of Dungeons and Dragons where you could be like, it's Star Wars, essentially, the Star Wars role-playing game. And a bunch of other things that TSR put out. Anyway, they're under full attack right now because, I think from what I understand, and I haven't been reading this too closely, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt.
So we're the perfect people to talk about it.
Exactly. Yeah. So from what I understand, some SJWs demanded that TSR literally suck a transgendered person's penis.
Oh, literally?
And they said, no, we don't want to do that. We are a role-playing game company. We are not going to fillet transgendered people or non-binary people. We're just not going to do that. And for that, they have been punished. They're being canceled right now. Now, to me, I applaud their bravery in that. They didn't want to. They just didn't want to. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to say, no, I don't want to. And because of that, they are in real trouble. Everybody is attacking them. And it is sad. Do you feel sad for them?
Sounds sad.
Yeah, they're allowed to just say, no, I don't want to. I don't want
anybody off, right?
Yeah, I don't want to lick a non-binary person's balls. Thank you, no thank you. I'd say thanks, but no thanks. This is what they tweeted out in response to that. So they were asked to do that, and they politely declined. And I would say politely demurred. I would say I'd use the word demurred. Thanks, but no thanks, like that, like really polite. They said, in today's hyper-polarized culture, we have a firm commitment to hashtag keep gaming fantasy. We invite you to escape with us. So they don't want to... Look at this. Everybody responding. Look, this is great. Good for you. Yeah, you're right. Comicsgaters come in. Okay. Comicsgaters come in. And then here come the SJWs. Sounds cringy. Is that how you spell cringy? Like, cringy isn't a real word, but that looks like it says cringy to me.
Sounds it does look like cringy. Yeah. No, I think it's spelled right. I don't know. I've never typed it out before.
Would cringy like just be GY?
Yeah. Yeah. Take out the E.
Yeah. Keep gaming fantasy means no real world stuff. Yes. Okay, no barbarians, bards, clerics, fighters, monks, paladins, rangers, thieves, assassins, humans, armor, or weapons. Everyone plays demi-human magic users and illusionists. TPK every time. Great game. Go ahead, block me.
What the fuck? Mark Wade? Is that you?
Yeah, I mean, they all talk the same way.
Yeah.
It is, it's very strange. But you go through this. You say you want politics out of gaming, but you only want my politics out of gaming. Correct. I love this meme. I like this meme. You see this all the time, But this is true both ways. This is true. They do, you'll talk to comic book people who will just say, comics have always been political. And then they'll show you like 6 examples of famous comics that had a political message. And then you go, well, what about West Coast Avengers number 26, where they're fighting a cactus man? Like, what was I supposed to glean from that, politically? And they don't know what you're talking about. They just come right back around to, remember that time when Denny O'Neil had a, by the way, hideous old black man. I don't know who drew that. I don't know why. I don't know why he couldn't have been handsome. Rob Liefeld
Neil
would have drawn him.
Adams?
Neil Adams, Neil Adams drew him. So
All
yeah,
right.
you say you want politics out of gaming, but you only want my politics out of gaming. This is correct. We do want SJW politics out of gaming and out of culture because they're destructive and racist. But they would say the same thing. I mean, it's like, you know, when they show all of these examples of far left-wing politics in comics, I go, yeah, that's all cool. I mean, it's you know, gay and awful and stupid, but you know, yeah, sure, it's there. Where are the where are the right-wing comics right now at Marvel and DC? Because I mean, if politics are an important part of comics, you mean that all politics, right? Like everybody gets to like, can I go to Marvel Comics and do an important comic about why you know, the Second Amendment is important to protect women? Can I do that? Can I do a thing where it's like, oh, the biggest, baddest scumbag is attacking a woman, but she's got a gun in her purse and she doesn't need no man because she's got a gun. It's an equalizer. She doesn't need a superhero. She's her own. Look at this female empowerment I'm putting together here.
Arm women.
Yes. Well, wait a second.
Oh yeah, wait. That might not be a good idea.
Yeah, I'm thinking of what happens when you put a woman behind the wheel of a car, and I'm like, shit, put her behind, you know, a gun.
And they also have their emotional times, you know, every month, you know.
Yeah. I got to think about my Second Amendment stance. Might be evolving. My thinking on the Second Amendment is evolving right now, even as we speak. So these people are going off about TSR, and you know, all they just said was, "Look, we don't want. We're not going to put. Yeah, we recognize that there are people who are invading." Wow, they said thought police much. TSR is getting spicy. Culture is not hyper polarized. It's finally demanding accountability. Hold on, let me look at this guy.
All right.
Why is he looking down at us like this? Why would you put the camera at belly button height and then look down on it? Whenever you see somebody's avatar, it says an awful lot about who they are.
Yeah, he's someone that's trying to dominate.
Look at that face.
Anyone looking at this, like, you are below me, and I'm dominating you.
Yeah, like, I am angry on behalf of marginalized people who are not accurately being represented in role-playing games. I am pissed. I am here to fight so that we could get more transgendered Muslims in wheelchairs in Dungeons and Dragons.
You're right.
That's what this is. Why would somebody like this, like, first of all, again, let me just say this, because this is important. Twitter avatars are very important. It's the face that you're putting forward to the world, not just to your enemies. You know, it's like, this is the face that you're putting forward to the people who you actually probably like too. Like, you know, normal people go, I want to, like, think about the photograph that you put, like, you know, with your, do you put a photograph when you send out a resume? Are people allowed to know what you look like?
I guess you could.
Like hot chicks.
Headshot?
A headshot, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I would say that, like, my headshot would be me going, or I'd be the human sunbeam.
Mm-hmm.
That's the image I want to put forward to the world.
Smile.
Big smile, cheerful, sunshine. Those are two things, and that accomplishes two things, actually. It says, if you like me, it's like, I'm your friend. I'm smiling. I'm happy. I'm keeping you warm. We're pals. You know, I have a huge, enormous ego. And it says to my enemies, it says, I'm laughing at you. I have an enormous, huge ego. I literally think the world revolves around me. So it accomplishes two things with one image. This only accomplishes one. This just makes me feel like I'm in a hole in the ground in his basement. And he's about to urinate on me, I think.
No.
I think that's what that is. You know, that's the look.
You could be in the toilet.
I could be in the, maybe that's what this is. This is the toilet, the view from out of the toilet seat. I don't know what it is, but anyway.
It's the view of a stoolie.
Yes. So this guy says, culture is not hyper-polarized. It's finally demanding accountability. Accountability is the new word, because you go, how can you argue with that? Like, yeah, people should be accountable. Think about what Ray Fisher was saying. Accountability is more important than entertainment. Like, you have to be accountable to us before you're allowed to be entertained.
Yeah, but you have to be accountable for what? Every hurt feeling given throughout life. Like, again, these people all need to fucking grow up. I don't know. Maybe we're men out of time, because it's like the standard for accountability is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So basically, people are just going to pop because everything is going to be a slight. I mean, Warren Ellis with the serial dating, that's a slight now. That's where's his accountability?
That's everyone's business. Yeah, he's got to be accountable to the women. It's like, how is that everybody's business again?
Yeah. And they're organizing. All these crazy groupies are organizing now to try to take somebody down because they made consenting adult decisions about, you know, how they interact. And it's not just Warren Ellis. It's going to be everybody that's going to be coming along the line now. Everyone that's going to go after every rock star, every actor. You know, when Henry Cavill said he was afraid to date, he was fucking right. And then they fucking went after him, and it proved him right. He had to go and write an apology because he said what was true. And on a lot of men's minds, which is like, they're coming to get you. And they are. They're coming to get you guys now not because you're a Nazi or not because you were a Trump supporter, but maybe now just because you're in their fucking way. So if you're in their way, now serial dating is enough to take you down.
That's all they need. They just need an excuse. Now, he says this: if you're not being an asshole, you have nothing to fear.
Right.
Holy shit, then be afraid, sir. You know, it's like all of these people are assholes. Who gets to decide? Basically, most people are assholes to somebody.
True.
You know, it's like, even, you know, it's like, you love your mom. Somebody out there thinks your mom's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's probably me.
My mom probably thinks I'm an asshole.
Yeah, like but everybody, you know, this is the thing. There's somebody out there who thinks that somebody is an asshole. Like, everybody's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of who gets to decide. Who gets to decide who is being an asshole and who needs to be afraid? It's this guy, the Wizard Elwood. He wants to be afraid. Be afraid. We just demand your accountability. That's all. We just want you to be accountable to us. Culture has changed. It's empowered crazy people on Twitter.
Yeah. It's empowered crazy people to go out and police, you know, essentially their neighbors or the world, to have opinions on people that you really shouldn't have any fucking opinions on for the most part, you know? It's weird. It's going to get really scary if people don't fucking start figuring this shit out. Some people say they're starting to. I'm not really sure this is going to be ending anytime soon. It's like that kind of power is too delicious for crazy people.
Oh, they're never gonna. This isn't gonna stop.
Mm-hmm.
Antoine Dennison says you don't need to be creative anymore. Just screw someone who created something and blackmail them.
Mm-hmm.
Thank Antoine. You're so right.
Yeah.
Literature Devil says I have a right to be evil. I think you do. I'm ready to fight for your rights. So TSR says thought police much, which I think misses the point a little bit. This isn't really thought policing. You know.
Yeah. Now, I'd also say TSR, whoever's running that account, you know, if you don't want to get into the politics of things, and, you know, I would just say drop it. Just put out your stuff, you know.
Ignore these people. Come hang out here. Look, here's another guy here. They didn't thought police you, buddy. They corrected you. Someone is clearly sensitive.
Yeah.
Every time you have to go look at these people and just see, like, who is saying this shit.
I mean, this stuff could be in almost any dystopian type, you know, movie. They corrected you. Like, okay, I mean, you could take any bad guy from a bad guy perspective and say, I didn't do this to you, I corrected you.
Of course. You know, that's a villainous thing to say.
Yeah.
Like, who are you to correct me? You're not the police. You're not the law. You're not my parent. And you're not a preacher. You're just some a-hole, some beardy a-hole on the internet, you know? So this guy says, thought police indeed, with backup, I see. And this guy goes, y'all really stand transphobes. Stan, by the way, you know, the word Stan is reference to Eminem, the Eminem song Stan.
Like, he was a fan.
An obsessive fan. Like, y'all, first of all, this is what you say. Y'all, that's an SJW thing. They all talk exactly the same. Zach and I talk about
like
this
they're from the
constantly.
South. Like
they have a way, yeah. They have a casual kind of dismissive kind of. I don't even know. It's spooky. Like they're all interchangeable. They were all programmed the same way. They all talk exactly the same. Now, when you see this, y'all really stand transphobe since he disagreement and ethical opposition is persecution and oppression. Miraculous. Now you go, okay, did a woman write that or a man? Or something in between. I don't, you can't
non-binary.
Like you can't tell. Like if you didn't know that it was Nathan Cook writer here, you wouldn't know like who actually wrote that. That's just they all talk alike. And I think they learn from each other on Twitter. They reprogram each other on Twitter.
But I mean, just SJWs, period. Like that's what they see is ethical opposition and persecution around every corner. And then they act like it's, oh, anyone who's disagreeing, you know, again, it's just more projection of what's going on out there. Like, look, man, you know, like these two different ways of seeing these things, you know, like they always have to factor in, but you have to realize that you're also looking in the mirror, you know, like it's you, like all this persecution, like that's you. Like nobody made anybody go into Marvel Comics and start fucking with the entire roster of these characters or putting the big FU out there to their fans. Like that's ethical opposition and whatever else they said, the oppression and stuff. Like that's what you guys have been doing, and then people are standing here pointing it out, and then you're like, oh well, you guys are the oppressors. Like what the fuck are you talking about?
That's exactly right.
We've been here. Like this is our space. This is where we've been hanging out in this little comic book thing, you know,
in our flag.
Yeah,
of course. Michael, and things were fine. Michael Dietschy says, quote, if you weren't guilty, we wouldn't have arrested you. Soviets. And now SJWs. Yeah, they all do have that attitude. King Harkinian says the the attacks on TSR are the start of Tabletop Gate proper. The hate mob is beating the war drums, and now they get to meet all the enemies they've made. I don't know. Maybe it's time to make a CYBERFROG tabletop game. Here's somebody named High King Pilnock says, maybe log off and take some DEI courses. Sit with a sensitivity reader and go over some rule books. Let me know how it goes, hun. Hold on a second. Is this her? Oh, wait. We'll spread in the sheets for spreadsheets. The bisexual did not ask for advice. Deaf did not ask for advice. I would take your own advice. Cam says, or you can go away. I like Cam. Cam's awesome. If you would like to know why, there are two reasons. False reporting to Twitter. I really don't care what a hysterical moron has to say. I post things for people who follow me to read. I'm not going to change a sociopath's mind. A lot of sociopaths on Twitter. That's the only explanation. Can I suggest that you stop tweeting about anything but games for a while? No, this is actually good advice. I don't know if this person is an SJW or a normal person, but I would say this is good advice. Max Santiago says, hey, TSR made the best superhero RPG, the Marvel game. I agree. I was such a nerdy Boy Scout. I used to bring... This is really embarrassing. I brought the Marvel role-playing game to summer camp, and I would play with the other Boy Scouts. We'd say, I'm the human.
Was it just you? It's Ethan under a tree with his Marvel board.
I had different voices for the other boys. Let me see. Maybe you two should talk to them about a Comicsgate universe game. I'd buy that. Yeah, I would talk to them about that. Amateur Ant said this SJW Antifa BS will stop when we are in another world war or when the U.S. collapses like the Roman Empire, which I think one or both will happen in the next 30 years. Shaking my damn head. Urashima Otaru for $5 says SJWs are all socialist critical theory religious zealots. They believe in the racism, sexism, transphobia, etc. of the gaps. They see it everywhere. I don't really think so. I don't give them the credit to think that they believe anything. I think all of these things are weapons. But Jesus.
Yeah, they just want to take people out. That's it.
Yes,
Power.
that's right. Mark Walters is calling me a nerd. I loved it. I loved that Marvel game. The reason why I liked it is because it made all the characters make sense to me. Like if you have the TSR Marvel game, all of the characters have power rankings, and so that you know that Silver Surfer has unearthly level strength, whereas Ben Grimm only has, and I can't remember what his power level was, but he's not anywhere. He's like 3 ranks down from Silver Surfer.
Oh,
which,
incredible.
Yeah, you don't like. You're like, what are you talking about? Like Ben Grimm is strong. The Thing is strong. No, Silver Surfer much stronger than almost anyone.
Cosmic.
Yeah. So I like, to me that made sense, and then I would love it because they'd say Aunt May's strength is feeble.
Oh shit.
Her strength rating is feeble.
Yeah. Well, Silver Surfer can't bang though. Thing can.
So can Aunt May.
Yeah. Thing could bang Aunt May if you wanted.
God, that would be really weird. Let's not think about that too much.
It'd probably be a homicide.
Yeah, I think it would be.